couple key reasons. Mine that I'm going to be discussing is teacher-student interaction and student-student interaction are the major two. Teacher-student interaction during an online class isn't as effective as an in-class because the teacher, yeah, you can send emails, but they don't get back to you in a timely fashion. At the end of class, you can't go up to them. You just have to wait till they get back to you. So I mean that's a huge bummer. You can't have them show you right then and there what you need to learn. So if you're in a math class online and you don't get something, you just have to kind of figure it out yourself. You don't get really any teacher assistance, or at least before it's too late usually. Student-to-student interaction suffers a great deal. In class, yeah, you might socialize when you're not supposed to or whatever. You can talk to a student and see if they're having the same problems, whatnot. When you're online, you're kind of selfish and you just try to figure it out yourself. So, I don't know, that's a huge crutch. You also kind of work in groups online, but it's not as effective because, I mean, you're not sitting right there, so you don't know if your group members are slacking or whatnot, or if they're ahead of you, or if they're doing more work than you, so it's not as balanced as an in-class assignment. And then my last point is kind of your independence, being motivated to do your class. An online class is really easy to procrastinate because nobody's over your shoulder just telling you you have to have this done. You might have a month and a half to do a project, whereas in class there's giving you designated times and days when you can work on it. So I just don't think it's as efficient as in class. That's my stand against online.
Alright, I'm Josh. I'm also against online classes. The first point that I'd like to make was the cost. In our research that we found that online classes actually cost more than going to a class. So if you're in the mood to save money, I wouldn't do an online class. Yeah, you don't have to travel to your class to maybe save a little bit of money on gas, but in the long run the cost is more effective, or is less effective. For cheating is the second point that I'd like to make. Without having the teacher in the room, you're taking all your tests online. You're not as likely to learn as much because you could have your book just sitting out in front of you, in front of your computer, as you're taking the test. With homework, it's all done on your own time, so as long as you don't procrastinate, it's good, but you have to have the really good self-motivation to get the homework done and not just be opening your book to do everything. And the third point I'd like to make was the computer literate. College these days, a lot of people are going back to college, which means they're older than the typical college student. And I don't know about you, but the older people I know don't necessarily know how to use the programs that are in the computer that they need for online class, like Microsoft Word or all that. And if you don't know how to use the programs, then you can't do your homework properly, or you can't take the test properly. And that can be a really big problem. And back to what he said about this face-to-face interaction, the networking that you can do for your future if you're in a classroom. You can meet people that will be successful in your field of practice, so if you need a reference later on, you have that instead of just email communication between your classmates and yourself. So, and that's my argument against online classes.
Hello, I'm Bobby, and I'm arguing point 4, online classes. In response to Ron's point about the teacher-student relationships, in research that I've looked up, I found that there are online classes that require you to be in a classroom setting, to go to a class and then work online from there. This has a facilitator or a teacher-like person in that position to help you in your studies, as well as kind of give that classroom mentality and the working together with other students. Also, to the point of computer literacy, the majority of people taking online classes and jumping into that realm are going to be younger people, averaging in age from 17 to 22. Most of these people are already computer literate. They're on Facebook, they're on Twitter, they're doing a lot of things online already. I think that they should be able to handle an online classroom setting. And then a lot of points towards motivation and things like that. I feel that classroom setting would address that as well, to kind of get you to a location to do your online work, give you all the benefits of the internet and the computer tools, but at the same time keep it structured. And that's my view on the online learning.
Hello, I'm Will. I'm here to discuss online classes, the pros of online classes as well. Getting back to one of the points made earlier, discussing the cost of online classes. Online classes vary based most of the time, and not always are more expensive than regular classes. It just kind of depends on where you're going. One of the bigger things that we found out during our research was talking to a teacher who did his master's program at Marygrove College. He was really impressed with the way that it was structured, how it was on your own time, and you could get it done when you wanted to. There were deadlines and such, but being able to do all the assignments on your own time was very beneficial to him, and got his master's degree through online courses. One of the bigger issues is that of on your own time. Many people discourage the regular classroom of deadlines and getting it done quick and effectively. When you can, on online classes, you can kind of span it out over and do your own learning on your own time. People often learn better when they can do their own strategies towards learning. So online classes are very beneficial in that way. There are many programs that are capable for online classes. At Central Michigan University, a lot of the online, not necessarily online classes, but all classes use some type of online program. At Central Michigan, they use Blackboard for pretty much all homework and online quizzes. So all those people that aren't taking online classes are in the classroom. They are using some kind of online program to boost their information on technology. And finally, one of the bigger issues is the use of technology in the world. Our world is going more towards a computer-based learning, not only in the United States, but in places all over the globe. In China and many different developing countries are trying to get more into the computer-based learning. So in order for the United States as a country to keep up with others, it is very important that we continue the use of technology and online classes in general. And those are my points.